Okay, so hi team, good morning. So this is session number 5. In this session, we will see how to copy multiple tables from SQL database to blob storage using synapse pipeline. Okay, so in this, one new thing for us is SQL database. I'll just talk about the SQL database. Blob storage we already have aware, and synapse also we are aware. Synapse analytics. Okay, let's talk about a SQL database very quickly. See, you are an end user. You went to a restaurant and you will look at the menu and you will order the server. Hey server, you bring me this. So server will go to the kitchen and he will bring the food. Okay. So now for the end user and server need a common language to communicate. If the server knows Hindi and if the end user knows only Telugu, or he knows only Tamil, or he knows only Kannada, then what will happen? They cannot be able to communicate. So this end user, let's say he knows Tamil, or let's say Telugu, or let's say Kannada. Maybe he knows these three, but server knows only one language called Hindi. Okay, now let's imagine, will this end user be able to communicate with the server?
No.
No. Now the question is, will server learn Tamil or Telugu or Kannada for this end user?
No.
No, because server will handle many people. So end user is the customer. So end user has to learn if we need to talk to the server. Okay, so that's why what end user should do is, end user must learn the Hindi also. Okay, let's say if end user knows Hindi, he can able to talk to the server in Hindi. He can make a request. The server, he understand what the end user is making the request. The server will go to the kitchen and bring the food. This is similar to, we are the end users. We will create a one server in SQL server. This is called SQL server. And this SQL server, end user whenever make a request to the server will go to the database where we have a data. It will bring the food for us. Now this server knows not Hindi, but he knows SQL language, structured query language. So user also must learn what? SQL. So if you don't know SQL, we can't communicate with the server. That is a simple example. Okay, so that's why we will have a server and a database. When I say Azure SQL database, it refers server plus database, both will come. Okay, server is the person who will take our request. He will go and bring the data from the database. As simple as that. So now how the data will be stored here? Data will be stored in databases in terms of a tables, as we discussed on day 1. If it is a file systems, we store data in the files. If it is a databases, we store data in the tables. Okay, how to create table in SQL? So let's say I want to create a table in the database, that I need to talk to the server. A server go and create table in the database. So in SQL, how you can say create table with this column says create table. What is the table name? Let's say customer. What details you want to include in this? Customer ID, customer name, customer location. Now what type of data? Number is an integer type. Name is a text. Text means in SQL we use varchar. 50 means 50 letters. Varchar of C location is again text. I am using the C location. It's a text. Text means we use varchar. Number means we use int in SQL. This is how you are going to create the table in SQL. How to insert data into this? Insert into the customer table. Values. It's nothing but a data. First record is one is the customer ID, Rama is the name, is from Hyderabad. To Krishna is from Chennai. One more person is there. Third person. 3. Let's say Sai. Pune. Like this, as many records as you want, you can insert. So this is how you will create a table. This is how you will insert the records into the table. Getting? Are you clear on this? Let's say C name, I just kept it 5. So will I be able to insert all these records into the C name or not? How many characters are there in Rama? 4. But we are accepting up to 5, no issue. Here, 7 are there. Will it accept?
Yeah.
No, that's why we need to put a minimum, like maximum number, at least some 50. In real time, you'll have around 500, 250 max, like that will be there. Here I am taking up to 50 characters. Okay, clear? Any doubts on this?
It's clear.
Okay, let's move on and we'll see how to create these 3 services quickly. Okay, go to first search here SQL database. Go to SQL database. Click create SQL database. So resource group is Cloud Pandit-Archie. You are already aware, right? So I mentioned same option, doesn't matter what service you are using. Same subscription for you. It's a free trial. Resource group. Database name I'm giving Cloud Pandit SQL DB. Okay, database is ready. But to talk to this database, we need a server, right? Let's create a server. Click create a new server. Cloud Pandit server in East US data center. So everybody can't talk to this server. There must be username and password. I'm setting some username, password. Okay, I set up some username and password. Remember, same username, password you must have to give in the linked service. Linked service. That's what remember. Okay, click OK. Okay, come down. So now let me show you one thing. See how much it is database. How much is the database? 30,000.
29,000.
29,000
30,000 approximately.
around per month daily 1,000 rupees. So we can. So this is basically different models of purchasing database will be there. One of the model is V course. It is basically costly. So that's why what I'll do, I'll go to, it's not a production, it's a just a learning or development. First thing, then click configure databases. Here what I will do is, here you can say standard, basic, standard, premium is there. So vCore based purchase model is very costly. This is basically used for production, but we are using standard, okay, for us. Okay. Now you see it's a 1,000 rupees per month. Okay, click up to. Getting clear? Once you have done here, directly you move to the additional settings. Here already I want to create some tables. I need some tables in the database. Then click some sample data. So when you click on sample data, lot of tables will be created and some data will be inserted into those tables. That kind of existing tables will be available for us. Okay, finished. Instead of creating by ourselves multiple tables will be created automatically. Select sample, then click review plus create. Don't worry about other options. Okay, whatever is there, don't worry, just click create. Now what you will do, go to portal.edge.com. So SQL database, our first service we created, right? We need to create a next service called blob storage. Go to storage accounts. Create storage account. You know, right? Details. Same resource group. Say Cloud Pandit blob. Okay. And then click review. Click create. Okay. Third tab. I'm moving on to the third tab. Okay. So let's go and create the Synapse Analytics. Yes, yes, yes. Everything is chargeable, Gautami. Okay, same resource group. So workspace name, Cloud Pandit, Synapse workspace, east to west. Okay, so we need to create a data lake name, Cloud Pandit, AWS. Click OK. So global is the container. Even see, without setting username and password also we can go. Let me show you today. We don't require those things. That's why you don't need to even set up that username and password. See, I'm not setting any username and password, but still validation succeeded. Create the blob storage. Everything is fine. Now let me move on to the print. So what you will do, go to database. Okay, let me show you how to connect to the server. To talk to the server, how to talk to the server is go to resource. Okay, if you see your query editor, right, which is very simple. Okay, click on query editor. And I told you, right, you need to enter user and password. You enter password, but it will fail. You see why it is failing. Even though you have user and password, it will not allow the network access is set to yes. So what it is saying is, so deny public network access is set to yes means outside people, everybody is not allowed. So you need to say, hey, it's not everybody, myself, you please allow myself and the Azure other Azure services. Okay, for that, it's kind of a network is kind of a wall. These IP addresses only you allow. See, kind of a, so this is the wall. inside a wall there is a house. Inside this house there is a person. You need to talk to this person. Okay. First network IP. You need to enter into the network. So now you are denied at this point itself. Okay. Once you enter into the network, you need to unlock this house and you need to go inside house and you need to talk to this person. 3 steps in one. One is network. You need to enter. Then you need to enter correct lock. It's nothing but a username and password to talk to the actual server. Okay. So that's why first step is we need to enable this network. Go to overview. Go to set server firewall. So selected networks. Okay. So networking, selected networks. Here add your client IP address. So this is your client IPv4 address. So it's nothing but my network IP. So I'm saying, hey, you just hello my network IP. You no need to worry about your network IP. It will identify automatically. It will show you. You just click on this. It will add. And now I am checking this option which allows Azure services to access. Azure services means Synapse, Databricks, a Data Factory, anything. If you want to connect to the Azure SQL database, it will connect because all Azure services I am allowing. Okay, then save it. Okay, check it here. Everything is. So it failed, right? What you need to do, go back, click on set server firewall again, check it, which all things are failed. It is add. See IP, my client IP is not added. Save it again, add it and save it again. See now it is updated successfully. In case of failure, you check which option is not enabled. You do that and save it. Okay. Now things are fine. Go back, click on query editor here. So I'm entering password and connect. We connected. Now let's see what all tables. See lot of tables. Who created this? If you remember, while creating the database, I clicked on sample. If you click on sample, you will get all these tables. Let's leave about all these things. I want to create my own table. So do you have any table name called cust here? Cust, no, right? Customer is there. Cust is not there. Okay. Now I'll create the table like this. Create table. My table name is cust. These are the column names. Select this from this. Okay. Now table is created. Come here, refresh this. Expand this. See, cust is the table which is available. Let's see, is there any data in this? How to query? Select star. Star means everything from the cust table. It is saying effector row 0. Schema also you need to better always try to provide the schema. This is called a schema. Okay, run this. See, affected row is 0 because there is no data in it. Now let me insert the data into this. How to insert? Insert into customer table. Values are these are the 3 rows. Run this. Okay. Now you select this. See these 3 rows it will show. Are you getting? Now when you run this, you'll see these 3 rows. Okay. Now how to query this particular product table? So say sales lt dot product. Okay, 1 second. Run this. How many rows are there? How you will know? Go to messages. It will tell you 3 rows are there. Those 3 rows you can see. But now you go to other tables. Those are very big tables. So sales lt dot product. Now run it. One good thing is SQL is a case insensitive. Here capital S is there. Here I am using small s. LT is capital, but I am using small lt. Okay, no worries. It's a case insensitive. Anything you give, it will do. 295 records are there in this table. If you go to customer, run this. So lot of details are there. Go to messages. 847 rows are there. 847 rows are there. Like this, there are multiple tables I have. There are multiple tables I have. Okay. Now I want to create one more table called a metadata table. Okay. Now you see create table config. Yesterday it's a folder config. Today I'm creating a table config. In this I'll put source schema. It's a varchar of 50. So first let me show you like this. Now what I want to do, I want to copy source schema, source table. First source table I want to copy into the sync folder. Okay, in the blob storage. Source table is in SQL database, sync folder in the blob storage. I want to copy. So let's say dbo.cust. This I want to copy into the cust out. Again, sales lt.product table. Product table. I want to load it into the product out. Sales lt.product model. Any table you can type. Okay. Prod model out. Something like this. Sales lt dot. So you see down there is a sales order detail. Sales order detail. Sales order detail out. Something like this. Shortcuts. Yes, solve RD. Okay, sales order detail out like this. Okay, so these are the mappings how we created yesterday. Similarly I created today, but today source is not a folder, source is a table. Whenever you remember you get a table, you need to divide the table into the two columns, source schema comma source table. So that's why you need to put comma source schema comma source table. Okay, this will be combined in the pipeline dbo dot cust sales lt dot product, that will be combined in the combined where, tell me? Combined in the pipeline, but here we need to create this mapping. I don't know how many of you are able to understand what I'm saying. Okay, let me move on to this. Okay, now you open this table config. It will come, just wait. Okay, see these details we have created. Source schema, source tables, sync folders. Sync folders means these folders should be created in the blob storage. So these are the tables we need to read, and in the respective folders we need to load. Example, customer data I want to load it into cust out folder. Sales also the product table data I want to load it into product out, like this. Clear this mapping details. Now I am giving you 5 minutes of time. I want all of you to create a table for this particular data. I want all of you to create a table and tell me how to insert this data into the table. Getting? So I'll give you 5 minutes. Let me see how many of you will create that. You take a help of Google. See, one thing is very sure, all the data types for these columns is a varchar. You put varchar 50 or 100 because everything is a text. So create table, some table name, source schema is the column name, varchar of 50, source table, varchar of 50, sync folder, varchar of 50. Once the table is created, insert into the table name, values are these values, then these values, then these values. I want all of you to create that table structure and put it in chart window in next 5 minutes. So now the time is 8:30. I'm giving you time till 8:35. Only Venu created the table. Only 3 minutes left. Okay. So if you see now the time is 8:35. So I also see if you look at this one, right? So I'll show you the step by step whatever I have done. See, this is what we have. Okay, this is what we have created normally. So how I converted this into the table, you see. So first I have added the single quotes. I have added the single quotes for all the text, and then I'm just closing the braces. Okay, see here for each text I have enclosed with the single quotes, and then brackets I have opened and closed. This is header, I no need to insert. So headers where we need to use, tell me. Headers we need to use while creating the table. So you need to say create a table. So table config. Okay. So whenever you are defining header, you no need to put the single quotes. That's why I'm removing that single quotes. I can just put 50. Care of 50. Again for this, care of something 50. Okay, simple table creation is done. Now insert into the tbl config. What are the values? These are the values. Simple, done. That's all. How simple it is. Whatever mappings you created, same mappings only we are going to use, not anything else. Okay, nothing. So now you take this table and I am going to create here, because in real time, remember, there are a lot of updates we need to do for this metadata table, this table config. So that's why we are going to use this table config. Okay, select this, run this, then you insert these records into the table. What is this? I can able to do later. I can create the table later. So I'll do all these lab later. So all these things later only. After 1 year also it will go later. So try to do the things as soon as I said. Okay, many of you are not able to even create the table. I've seen only 5 people, 6 people are responding. tbl config. Select star from tbl config. If you see, this is a source schema, this is a source table, this is a sync folder. This is a source schema, source table, sync schema, sync folder. Same for 4 tables. If you have 100 tables, same mappings you need to create in this table, isn't it? If you have 100 tables, let's say I want to add one more table, what you will do? What you will do? Tell me. Simple, right? Here you will put and you will say sales LT, comma, let's say product category. Product prod category out. Something like this. I can just put one more row and insert it. That's all. Now you run this. See, even product category also we have in our metadata. Now total how many tables we are copying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables. If you have 100, 100. If you have 200, 200. Any number you can able to. Okay, that is the first thing. My next question to all of you is, these are the folders where these folders will get created.
SQL Server.
In the block storage.
Very good, very good. Somebody told SQL Server. Very good. Okay, nice. SQL Server. Folders will be created in SQL Server. Yes or no? Can you create a folder in SQL Server? You people are giving the very weird answers. Can we create folders in a SQL Server, SQL database? I told folders files you are going to create only in the file system. Databases you can have only tables. Don't answer like this, okay? Select star from table config. You see there are 5 rows. Now these folders will be created where?
In the output block.
Yes, we created a our target as a blob storage, in the blob storage it will be created. Now my question is, do we need to create or pipeline will create?
The pipeline will automatically.
Yes. So pipeline will automatically will create these folders. So that's why I'm not going to create any containers here. If you see any containers, I don't have any containers. Even I am not going to create any containers. My pipeline is going to create all the containers. Okay. Let's move on to the synapse now. Third folder. Go to resource group. Tell me how many linked services I need. This is a synapse. Open synapse. How many linked services I need?
Two.
Only one.
Very good. I received at least two answers, right? 1, 2. Any other answers? One or two. I received two answers. Rest of the people, please confirm everybody.
Two linked service.
Two. Who said one? Who said two? Ping in chat window. Whoever think two, whoever think one. I need from all the people. I see. If anybody is not responded, I'll call out your name. Okay. So I'm saying two. Somebody said one, right? Who is that?
Yeah. Yes, Venu.
Venu, tell me with one linked service how you will achieve this.
Because we are connecting to SQL server, right? For the synapse to SQL.
We are connecting to the SQL. Okay, that is one linked service. Who will connect to the blob storage?
Right. Yeah, one more.
Okay. Always think
Yeah.
practically. You need to think simply blindly. Okay, one linked service, two linked service. What? If you see, until unless you understand the concepts, if you blindly remember the concepts, you will not learn. That is 100% true. So there is a one source, there is a one sink. You need to think practically. One linker service for source, one linker service for sink. So since last 4 sessions, I am drawing a diagram in paint.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I got it.
You are seeing there is a source, there is a sink. You need to at least think that way. Okay. This is the database. Okay. Let's imagine. Let's imagine this is a kind of a database. Okay, so this is the database and this is a synapse. Database will look like this. Okay, this is the database. So this is the synapse pipeline and this is the blob storage symbols. Okay, so these are the actual symbols. Don't think that I am considering something. Let me show you. See synapse logo, how it is looks like. Go to images. What is the synapse logo here? You see, you need to put Azure synapse. See Azure synapse logo. You are seeing, right? How the Azure synapse logo. Okay, same. Azure blob logo. So blob logo is like this. Okay. See databases logo like this. Okay. So these are the actual logos I'm trying to create. Okay. And so this is a blob, this is the database. As you remember, already we have multiple tables in the database, multiple tables data. We load it into the multiple folders in the blob storage. So first we need a one connection to the this particular database, one connection to this particular blob storage, and then we need a one data set with what? Guess it. Whenever you are copying multiple tables or multiple folders, what we need?
Parameter.
Data set.
Parameter.
Okay, we need a data set with the parameters. Okay,
Parameter.
we need a data set with parameter. Then we will create a one pipeline. Okay, so into this particular pipeline, in this particular pipeline, we are going to use the activities. So yesterday we have used what all activities we have used. If you remember, in this pipeline, we have used different activities.
Lookup.
Used lookup
Lookup.
activity. Then we used
For
For each.
each activity.
For each.
Inside for each, we have used what? Copy.
Copy.
Okay, so these are connected like this. So lookup output we are passing to the for each. For each will take all those things. For each will give one by one item to the copy activity. First item, once it is copied, then it will give the second item. Once the second item is also copied, then it will give the third item, fourth item, fifth item, and so on. Clear all of you? Now come here.
Yes.
Okay. Now what you need to understand, one second. Yeah, that's all right. Now go to Synapse. You open Synapse. Yeah, I opened Synapse already. Now go to Manage tab. Create a two linked service. Go to linked services. Click new linked service. SQL database is the one thing that you need to connect. It's a SQL database. ls_SQL DB. Subscription is this. Server name is this. Database is cloud punnet. So you need to enter username and password. I told you, right? While connecting, while creating linked service, you need to enter server details, server username password. I enter test connection. Connection successful. You can create the one linked service for the SQL server and database. Let's create one more linked service for blob storage. ls for blob storage. Come down slowly. This is the subscription. Storage account name is Cloud Pandit Blob. Test connection and create it. Okay, now let's go to the data sets. Go to data tab. Let's create two data sets with the parameters. Place integration data set. First, let's create to the SQL database. DS for SQL DB. Okay, this is the linked service. So, which table we need to select? Which table we need to select here?
Config.
Huh? You should not select any table. You need to create a parameters. Okay, click OK. So then go to linked. This is the data set. Click on this data set. Go to parameters. You need basically two parameters. Remember, one is for schema, one is for table name. Data set parameter for source schema. DS param for source table. Okay, two parameters. Now go to connection. Here you see table you need to select. Click edit. Then you see two boxes it is showing. Why two boxes? This is for schema, this is for table. That's why I have created two columns, two parameters. Two columns in the config table, two parameters. Add dynamic content. This is the source schema selected. This is the source table, you select it. The source schema, this is the source table. This is the source schema, this is source table. Okay, that's all with respect to the data set for SQL database. Okay, SQL database data set with parameters. Now we need to create one more data set for blob storage as a CSV. DS for blob is the linked service. Which one I need to select here? Folder. Don't select anything here also. Select first as header. Click OK. Again, we need to create a parameter for blob. Select blob dataset. Go to parameter. Here only container name. We need only container. DS param for sync container. Where I need to select this parameter? Go to connection. In the file path, if you see container here, click add dynamic content. You can select the sync content. Okay. Okay, so this data sets is clear to all of you. Anybody have any doubts with the data set parameters? Let me know. Okay, so if no doubts, let's go to integrate, create a pipeline. As I mentioned, first to lookup. Lookup is for what? For reading table config or metadata details, you can say. Come to settings. Do I need to check this or uncheck this?
Check.
Okay. Yes. Yes, tell me. So
Uncheck. I think we need all the data.
check this. No, only one mapping details it will retrieve. So that's why I need to read everything from the table. So uncheck this. Select here. This is the data set. If you select, it will ask you to provide table. Here you need to provide table name is DBO is the schema. Table name is TBL config because this is the metadata table, right? You provide these details, then debug. So count is 5, value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All these things you have. Clear all of you? 5 items. You copy these items into the somewhere here. Somewhere here. Okay. So now which one I need to pass it to the for each? Just look up output. I need to pass it, right? For each. Lookup output, I need to pass it to the for each. Tell me, out of which one I need to pass? Count or value?
Values.
Value. So
Value.
for each, go to settings, sequential one by one. Click on this, add dynamic content. Here, value array, if you select, lookup output. In this lookup output, you have multiple count value, but I am taking value. Click OK. Inside this for each, I am dragging the copy data. What is this copy data activity? What is our source? SQL database. What is our sync? Blob storage. Okay. Let's go back to the source data set here. Carefully, you need to answer. Okay. So this is the chocolate number 1. I needed details about the chocolate number 1 first. So what I want? Source schema. How to get source schema from this item? Item dot
SRC schema.
SRC schema. If I say item dot SRC schema, it will give us the DBO first time. Similarly, when I say item dot SRC table here, item dot SRC table, it will give you what? Table name. Table
The
name. What is
table.
the table name? Cust. Meaning here we are selecting source at DBO dot cust we are selecting. That data I want to copy into where I want to copy into cust out. To get that cust out, we need to pass cust out. How to pass cust out to the sync side? Item dot sync folder. Item dot sync folder. Let's say first table is copied successfully. Next table, what happens? Next, when copy active next time it is running, source schema is going to be a sales LT. Source table is a product, meaning from sales LT product table we are going to read the data. We will write it into item.sync folder. What is sync folder? Product out, meaning from sales LT.product we read the data, we write it into product out. Again, sales LT.product model we read data, we write it into prod model out. Getting? So whether you want to execute one by one or everything at once is decided in the for each settings. Already sequentially set. Sequentially set means one by one table will be loaded. Let's debug now. So I request all of you to try. See, first time if you are not able to understand, first time blindly you click whatever I'm clicking here. By looking at the video, you click whatever I'm clicking here and finish. Once it is succeeded, you'll get confidence. Okay, whatever steps he has done, I performed same steps, pipeline succeeded, you will get some confidence. Later, try to understand what you are doing. Again, do same lab, try to understand what you are doing. Like that, okay? Don't try to think that, okay, everything I need to understand, single attempt, no. That is not possible. Okay, see 4 copy activity succeeded already. So fifth one is also running. Fifth one is also loaded. Now go to blob storage. See data, all folders came here. Go to custom. So if you open this, see it's a comma separated, but extension is .txt, but comma separated. Why extension is .txt? I'll tell you. Come to pipeline. Go inside copy activity. Sync set, copy sync set. If you go here, you see down
There's an option.
file extension it is showing is .txt. Okay, if you would have put it as a .csv, file extension would come it as a .csv only. But internally you see as you are sync data set of type is CSV, it is comma separated value only, it's saved. Okay, if you go to any other thing also you will be able to see lot of data is there because these are the existing table data we have loaded, right? It is having around 295 rows. 296 means first row is header, right? 295 records are there. Product type. Like this, multiple tables also you can able to ingest into the blob storage. All of you clear? All of you clear, team? Any questions? Any questions? If no questions, I request all of you to practice this. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you. That's all.